The South African National Defence Force continues to play a key player when it comes to peacekeeping on the African continent. So they're currently showcasing their capabilities at the Rand Easter Show. Let's go to SABC News international reporter Khayelile Khumalo and speak to him a bit about what is on display there. Kaya, a very good morning to you indeed. Looks to be quite fun. Where you are today with all the capabilities of the SANDF out there. But on a more serious note, of course, while they display, everything that I see behind you, the SANDF does play a critical role in peacekeeping operations in different parts of the African continent, including in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Just before we went to you to air now, we're also hearing that the assets of the former president of the DRC, Joseph Kabila, have been seized. Some of his assets have been seized. Perhaps first talk to us about what we're seeing behind you, and then perhaps we can go into those more serious issues.
Well, absolutely, Criselda. From the Nipi side of Johannesburg here, a very interesting area where we're positioned, really a vantage point where you can see really the capabilities of the SANDF on full display, from the SA Army Artillery to the 1 South African Infantry Battalion and many others, really. A very important role that they played in the African continent when it comes to the maintenance of peace under very precarious conditions at time. Criselda, like you just alluded, I mean, we saw former DRC President Joseph Kabila. He was here in South Africa for some time, and also there was a point where he really met with the media where he was talking about the challenges of the DRC, but really emphasizing the whole issue that the people who can really resolve the issue there are the Congolese themselves, of course assisted by so many players. But coming back to the relevance of today, Criselda, we're joined by Admiral Prince Chabalala, really to take us through to the importance of today, showcasing your capabilities. We know that you play such a very important role in the continent when it comes to peacekeeping. Currently, you are in the DRC. Recently, you just concluded Samim in Cabo Delgado in Mozambique. But take us through to the importance of today, Admiral.
Today we are showing our capabilities to the public. We are engaging the public on one-on-one, soldier to a member of the public. We are demonstrating all inherent capabilities of a soldier. As you can see, we have various assets that are displayed here, prime mission equipment that we use in support of our peacekeeping missions mainly, and in support of our security agencies such as SAP. They are all displayed here. And this kind of exhibition here at Rand Show gives us an opportunity to be able to interact on a personal level when inform the public about what we stand for, our values, and we become intimate by also showing the young ones who would like to join the National Defence Force to be able to get intimate knowledge about careers that are available here in the National Defence Force.
Admiral, obviously we see everything on display, but it comes at a critical time, not only just in South Africa, but globally, where it's a tough economic system, where there are budgetary constraints. And I would imagine also the army is navigating that particular process very well in terms of prioritizing, getting what you need in terms of your necessities. How are you just planning around that particular aspect?
Look, it's a well-known fact that the defense budget has been shrunk over the years, and it's got an impact on all our operational matters, whether internal and externally. In all our deployment, we are affected severely by the defense budget cuts. But we are grateful that the parliamentarians are starting to heed our call by slightly considering all major effects. In fact, a good example has been the situation where we got entangled in Goma, and that became very prominent, and we heard the call from the ministers and from our chief SANDF, General Ruzane Maponya, calling for more investment into the defense capabilities. So as a National Defense Force, we are severely affected, and we hope that our posture will be increased and considered for more investment, particularly in these prime mission equipment. Some of them, they do age over the time. They need to be rejuvenated and they need to be repaired. And all these things have an impact in our operations.
Admiral, obviously, let's go back to the issue in Goma and Sake, where some of your members are still stuck, essentially. Tell us about their conditions, because from time to time we get all sorts of reports. And also just the million-dollar question, when are they actually coming back to the country?
Yeah. Look, the SADC summits, and including the East African Community summits, have paved the way and actually improved the situation in regarding to our summit DRC forces that are there in Goma and Sake. And what we've seen is that the summit spearheaded by the chief of Defense Forces technical team, which Chief of South African National Defense Force General Rutsano is part, have really engaged directly with the M23, and there was a situation where we declared that there is in paper a ceasefire, but how that pathway will eventually lead to peace, it's something that they are navigating on, taking into cognizance that sometimes these belligerent conflicting parties, they do agree and then they also renegade in their promise. And so our position as South African National Defense Force, especially being part of Summit DRC, we are all dependent on how these two conflict parties negotiate their ceasefire, and so that we are able to be given a safe passage to return home. So, but our chief is leading the process as part of the Committee of Chief of Defense Forces of both SADC as well as the East African Community, and he's playing a critical role in negotiating, and we hope that his efforts will yield the results. But we were in a pathway to a promised peaceful resolution when the negotiations led to the engagement directly with the M23, and they were promised that there is a light at the end of the road, but unfortunately we believe now they've issued a statement regarding their new position to say they are renegating because of accusation of and counter-accusation of the conflicting parties. But our soldiers, I can tell South Africans that they remain very, the morale is actually beginning to be challenging, but they are keeping their faith in all this situation, and hoping that the chief's engagement will lead to a peaceful resolution. But we are promising that the sooner the situation and the condition are prevailing, our soldiers will be back as possible. We cannot say when, but as I indicated, it's all dependent on how this conflict will be resolved.
And just coming back to the event of today, Admiral, take us through to what we're seeing today. What do we have? I mean, from my point of view, I can see the marquee here by the SA Army Artillery, but I can see also the South African Special Forces. Take us through to what you have here, just to give South Africans just a bit of a sense of your prowess, of what you're capable of doing.
Yes. We have all services prime mission represented here. We have the SA Army being the largest contributor of our exhibitions. They've got all kinds of prime mission equipment, from the artillery, from the infantry, from the military police. You basically name it. We have all in terms of the assets that are displayed here. These are the assets that we are using for resolving conflict, of course, in fighting wars. And what you will see is we have the Air Force capability through a helicopter. The Augusta is here. We have the Navy also displaying their Navy capability. The divers are here. The hydrographic survey are here. We have the SAMs also being part of us, the South African Military Health Services, having their own capability to show the public how they actually support the military community in a medical situation. So all our assets, what you see here, will be able to educate our South African public to say what do we stand for as a National Defence Force, what is our inherent capabilities. They'll be able to interact with soldiers who will actually communicate and tell them more about how these equipment that are so sophisticated and very expensive, how do they work.
All right, and Admiral, of course, we're looking forward to the demonstration for the capabilities.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the significant aspect.
Definitely, we are going to simulate a war, a mini war, and then at the same time, how we we are a force that not only have an interest of fighting, but also we have a capability of assisting the community in emergency situation like the floods, disaster situation. So all that will be demonstrated today when we simulate a mock attack and the building of bridges all in one. It will be a situation indeed.
All right, so thank you so much, Admiral. So, Griselda, it's bound to be a very jam-packed show here at Nasrec, at the Rand Easter Show. But really, to give you a sense of where we are positioned, Griselda, I mean, all the toys are on display, really showing the capabilities of the SANDF and their prowess as a very formidable army, notwithstanding the challenges that they have, Griselda. As you know, that from time to time we do have disasters. As you know, this particular point, even right in South Africa, where we've seen quite a torrential amount of rain, the disasters in so many parts of the country. So they play a very important role in terms of really just helping the country in terms of maintaining that. But also you look at the issues around illegal mining in South Africa as well. You do have some members of SANDF who are deployed there, but also in terms of looking after the border of South Africa, they're working alongside the BMA. So it is quite a very enormous challenge when it comes to the porosity of the country's border. But we'll certainly keep you posted during the course of the morning. Well, we're going to see all kinds of simulation, and we'll just endeavor to make sure that you're able to get that live, Griselda.
Well, Kaya, just before I let you go, there are people right behind you. Do they understand, the capability of the SANDF? Do they know anything about, some of the weaponry behind you? If you could just speak to some people behind you.
Okay, let's see if we can, because we don't have a mic that is cordless. Let's see if we can really just reach out to the people, Griselda. Hi guys, how are you today? It's Easter. You decided to come to this stall. What's your impression so far?
I just got here. Haven't seen anything
You can
yet.
just come closer. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just got here. Haven't really seen anything yet. We're also about to start with our interviews.
Okay.
We are from Skills Village Radio, which is
Okay.
a disability-oriented radio station.
Okay.
So yeah, we're just checking around to see what we can do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about you, ma'am? I mean, quite a special moment here for the SANDF, as they're really displaying their capabilities. What's your thoughts so far?
Nothing so much, but I'm gonna check anything that I like or not like, but yeah.
Okay, Griselda. So there is a great deal of curiosity here, really, for the SANDF to showcase its capabilities. So those are some of the colleagues from the media sector as well. So they are all here, showing really the interest from the South Africans in terms of really seeing the SANDF, how it works in terms of its own operations. But also we do expect the Minister of Defence and Military Veterans, Angie Motshekga, as well, to be part of this particular exhibition, especially because we know that the Department of Defence and Military Veterans really is at the coal face in terms of making sure that they try to mobilize the resources to make sure that the army is well taken care of in terms of the resources. So we will certainly make sure that we do give you all the wall-to-wall coverage here in Nasrec